I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm a food truck business trainer, author of Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner, and Food Truck 201, Get Off the Truck. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. For the last few days, I have been going over my book, Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner, as a little bit of a teaser because we're going to do an audio book and that'll come out sometime this fall. We've already gone through the first couple of chapters, and today we're on to the chapter that's entitled, Where Will I Set Up? This becomes super important to people that are going to be setting up in what I refer to as a location, because you have opportunities to sell as a route, kind of like an ice cream truck does. You have an opportunity to sell in a location. That's where you set up in front of some other business and then basically are borrowing some of their customers, and you're going to feed those customers going into the other business. Could be a brewery, it could be a hardware store, it could be anything like that. That's a location. Then you have events. An event is a publicly celebrated activity where there's a reason for people to gather in mass and do things. Whether it's ride rides, pet pets, play games, buy crafts, whatever it is, that's an event. Events are not locations. They are handled completely differently. And then, of course, there's catering. So those are the different ways a food truck can make money. So today we're talking about locations and where would you set up. So the first thing you want to do as you're planning your business is to sit down and make a list of 100 places in your town where you could possibly set up. Doesn't matter if it's a good site or a bad site. You just right now want the numbers. You want to think of places where there's enough room for you to park and enough people that are driving by or walking by that would potentially stop to get your food. You're depending upon impulse shopping at that point. But you're brand new. A lot of your guests are going to be impulse, meaning they didn't know you were there and they came up and ordered something because you were there. Over time, you will turn those into loyal guests that will follow you around as you drive to different places and set up in different locations. But until they become loyal, you're depending upon impulse. And if you're going to depend upon impulse, you need about 200 people per hour that walk by wherever it is you're going to be setting up. So you make your list of 100 places that you feel confident there's at least 200 people walking by, and you're going to pick the 10 best out of that list, and you're going to start calling, and you want to ask the person that answers the phone, I have a food truck. I would love to set up on your property. Are you the person that can approve that, or do you know who I need to talk to? And then talk to that right person. You will hear a lot of no's. Just get used to it. It's no big deal. You will hear way more no's than you hear yeses, but that's okay. Once you get established, there will be people coming up to you every single day asking you to go park somewhere else, but you just got to get that reputation built first. So you made your list of 100 places. You've narrowed it down to 10. And what you're going to do with that 10 is you make those phone calls, just like I said. And in that phone call, you want to set up a face-to-face meeting for anybody that says yes or maybe. And that's okay, because all you want to do is get your foot in the door to set up that meeting. And then in that meeting, you're going to do all of these things right here. You're going to show up on time. You're going to show up well dressed. You're going to let them know that you're a business person. You're not just some scrub wearing a t-shirt who thought it would be cool to have a food truck. You are a business owner that just happens to sell food. There is nothing wrong with that, and you should be super, super proud of that. Proud of being a business owner, because there's not a whole lot of people that can do it and do it successfully. So when you go to set up that meeting, you want to talk to whoever has the authority to approve you being there. That's key, because you don't want to waste your time. Ask them point blank, is there somebody else that is going to say no if you say yes? Because if there is somebody that's going to override your authority, I want to talk to them. And then once they say, nope, I'm the top dog, then all right, let's get down to it. You're going to talk about some of the benefits of having a food truck on site. Number one is it's going to create more of a reason for his customers, that other businesses' customers, to come back frequently. Because now they got food. They can rely on being fed when they come to shop in that particular business. It creates one more layer of value his business has over all his competitors. You're going to talk about every day that I set up, I'm going to post on social media, and I will talk about being in front of your business. I will post pictures of your business with my food truck in front of it. Hopefully I can park in such a manner that catches both of our logos. I'm going to do that every single day that I'm out. I'm going to encourage my guests when they come out to my food truck to buy some food, to take some pictures, post it on their social media, and to tag both of us so that people can see it's a lot of fun to come eat food truck and then go into your business and shop. or to shop in your business and stop by the food truck on the way home. Either way works. You want to point out that a food vendor adds value not only to the customers of the other business, but to the employees. Because now the employees don't have to fret about where am I going to eat and if I'm going to be late for my break and my food's going to be good today. It just becomes one more perk that the company can offer to say, hey, we have a food truck on site. It's going to be here 5 days a week and you guys will get. And you can offer a discount, 5%, 10%, whatever. You only want to offer a discount though if you are reasonably sure that you're going to get more guests from the customers of the business than you are as employees of the business. So you don't want to offer a discount if you're going to be setting up at like a Amazon distribution center, because obviously the only people that are coming to eat from you will be Amazon employees. So there's no point in giving them a discount. You're there as a convenience for them because you're on their property. You can also let the owner of the business know that if the employees are willing to either call or text your cell phone in advance, you will have their food ready and waiting by the time they walk out of the building. So you let them know the employee meals are given priority so that they're not going to be late from the break and that they're going to get good hot food. You can also discount the managers as well. You can give them 50% off, whatever you think is appropriate, but you want to give them a reason to say yes to you. This also gets your foot in the door if this particular business hosts an employee or a customer appreciation day, because then that gets you the opportunity to serve a whole bunch more people. You can also talk about, I'll do daily specials that are based on dietary needs of your employees. If you have a lot of employees that are looking for, whatever it is, no gluten, keto, whatever. But you want to talk about how you're wanting to handle whatever needs those folks have. And you can also talk about rotating the menu will reduce menu fatigue. That's where they get tired of going, oh, it's that food truck again. You can also point out that studies show that when there's food on premises, employees are more productive, because when there's not food on premises, they start thinking about their next meal about 15 minutes before the break time, which lowers their productivity. There's also more frequent tardies when there's not food provided on site. And then, of course, you're going to point out that this is going to be an additional income stream for the business because you want to offer a small rent. And I always stress offer a small rent. And the rent should only be payable for the days you're going to be there. Don't do a monthly rent, because if it rains the entire month, you're still going to pay rent. So you want to make a agreement to where you're paying the day you're there and you pay that day. So if it doesn't rain and you show up, you're paying whatever the daily rent is. Not a problem. But if it rains 7 days in a row, you don't have to worry about paying because you weren't there. And start low. $10 a day is not a problem, because when you multiply that out, 10 times 30 becomes 300, even though you're not going to be there all 30 days. But that's what the business owner's thinking. That's $300. You do $15 or $20, whatever fits within your budget. But again, make it something that's either paid daily or weekly after the fact, not paid in advance beforehand. Because when you pay in advance, then whether it rains or not, you've already paid. Part of this meeting, you want to show up with your permits and licenses and fee receipts that are specific to your area. You want to have copies of those so you can show the business owner, I'm legitimate just like you are. Here's my health license, here's my ServSafe certification, here's my insurance liability, and all the other required insurances that you need to show that, hey, you're not going to be a problem when people come out there and maybe trip over the tongue of your trailer. You're covered, and the business owner doesn't have to worry. You want to share some photographs of your food, especially if you got guests that are eating your food. And if you've been set up other places, you want to show that as well. All of those things lend credence to you being a legitimate business with a following. And even if you're brand spanking new, stage some photographs. Have your family eating some of your food in front of your food truck. Let your potential business owners see that, hey, I have a following and I have people that like my food. And if they can make that association with my food truck and your business, they're going to come back more frequently, because it's one of those little adrenaline rushes that, hey, I like the food. This place happens to be, this food truck happens to be in front of this hardware store. I will come to this hardware store more frequently because I like the food and the convenience of it being right in front of the hardware store. You want to also include all your social media links so that they can see that you have a following and they can also check you out. You want to leave a sampling of your reviews, and the reviews can come from Facebook and Yelp and Google. And then you want to leave them a summary and then set an appointment with that person and say, hey, I will follow up with you 1 day, 2 day, a week, whatever, so I can get your final decision and then also show you what I'm going to be doing for you as far as the menu goes and the times you plan to operate. And again, you're going to list all those benefits that I just mentioned to the employees and to the company. You want to leave them your business card and then leave them a Be My Guest coupon. Whether they say yes or no, you still want to encourage them to come check you out because you're going to show that you are a professional. Now, if you do all of these things, most likely you're going to get 1 or 2 or 3 places out of that list of 100 that you narrowed down to 10. Say, yes, come on down. We want your business. You will have people come up and then say, hey, I would like to have you come set up in front of my business. And that will start to happen once you get a good following. Just don't be afraid of those no's because you're going to hear them. And that's okay. Every no is one step closer to a yes. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button and follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because you know I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.